What is going on, my music ed friends and colleagues? Just Kyle Karam here, coming at you with just a little video here regarding ISMA registration. It is that time of year. We're getting really, really close to that deadline. So I just kind of want to share some things about ISMA and like how to do it. It's actually really, really painless um, as far as signing kids up. So if I could, we'll talk on that in a second here. But I also kind of want to mention. Um, that these are really important events, and we like to sign kids up, and this really helps build their musicality. And we really need this is something that benefits K through it does benefit K through 5 a little bit, but certainly 6 through 12. This is where they start to um, build up themselves as individual musicians, and so this is a great opportunity for our students to get involved in that. So I really want to encourage you to encourage them to do this, because it is, like I said, it's a great opportunity for vocalists and pianists and instrumentalists of all sorts. So I would just want to kind of show you how this process works, and if you have any questions, let me know. But again, this is about building independent musicians, and that is our goal as music educators anyway. And so this is a great opportunity to talk to our students about preparation, and they can prepare for certain things. So every one of us is a member of ISMA. Our schools are member schools of ISMA. Really, it's more about the schools being members than us being members. But I can speak to all um, 5 through 12 buildings, and all ensembles within those buildings are members of ISMA. So ISMA, ISSMA .net is the website, not .com, not .org, .net is the website. So this is their this is their landing page. They have updated this a lot in the last few years. It looked a little older at one point, but they have sort of adapted it to a more mobile based um, interface, so it's a lot cleaner now. It's just more modern. So, one word to the wise: ISMA registration used to be due on a Friday. Actually, I think it was due technically Saturday, but then most directors like myself and Kevin, we would get it in on Friday before we left for the weekend, and it was fine. They have now moved that deadline to 2 days earlier than they normally do. So make sure that you're getting on your students about um, you know getting their forms in, getting their money in, all stuff like that. So uh, sometimes students are really, really interested and they can't afford it. I really encourage you to work with them a little bit. And if there's opportunity to pay for stuff like that out of your ECA, then I encourage you to. We, like with all of our fundraising and stuff, we kind of carve out some time, or we carve out some money to do that, just so we have some flexibility for our students there. So uh, ISMA events, hold over events, and scroll down to solo and ensemble. There's some things that you will have to do as a member, um, as starting out the form, that, but it takes, I mean, 30 seconds to set it up. So if you do not know your login, and I am logged in, I believe at the moment, I'm if you don't know your login, you can call the ISMA office, and maybe I include that number. They can be contacted at 317 780 right there. Pause to grab if you need that, but they can help you log in. And it takes just a quick second to do that. You'll probably talk to Tama or Scott or Mick, um, maybe Mark. But anyway, they're all great people. One of the reasons I love doing these events, these ISMA events, is because I really look up to the state level organization, and I think they're really well organized, and I think they really, really know their stuff, and they're all former music teachers who are, and ISMA is a nonprofit, so it's not like they're, where it's some organization that is run by non musicians. I mean, these are retired music teachers, so uh, that's another reason I like working with ISMA. Okay, So on ensemble events, online entry forms. You click on that, and then there's district and there's state. State will be available uh, at the ISMA just at the district site, and we have to do when we're registering our events. Um, for state, you have to do it. You have to do it the day of district. Now, if you are not able to make it to district, let's say you only have a couple kids and the accompanist is going to be there, just let me know, and I can is for vocal piano anyway, and I will act as your proxy. So they're totally fine with stuff like that. One thing that we want to be careful of is registering students in the proper schools, not just the district, but the proper schools. That's a big deal to ISMA. So directors making so on ensemble entries. Cool. So I'm going to click start entry under district area, directors only area login. So I've got my name and password already set up there. I'm just going to click login. Again, if you need help, contact ISMA and they will be more than happy to help you. I'm going to go right here because I plugged in all my information. It's a lot of self-explanatory stuff. We are region A, by the way, region A. And if it's a sub-region, then it's 8, region 8. And if it asks you for a sub-region, it's 8A is the name of it. So I went ahead and set up all that. We all know Jackson County. We know the address of your schools. It's going to ask you your principal's name and your principal's email, stuff like that. But a lot of it is just pretty, you know, identifying information. So just plug all that in. The only one you might not know is what region or area you're in, and it's 8 is our area. Seymour High School VP entry. VP stands for vocal/piano. And then I've gone through, and this is a lot of that identifying information, school site information. I go to Floyd Central High School. It's about an hour away. Seymour High School before me went to South Decatur, I believe it was. I have decided to just go ahead and pivot to Floyd, and now South Decatur is not even an option. So, school information, that's about us. Director information, of course, that's about you. Student event information, that's where you enter in your events or your registrants. Getting a call, but that's going to wait. Oh, spam. No, thank you. So, really important note there about eligibility, performance eligibility. Okay, so here is the site that you have to input all your information in, um, or one at a time. So what you're going to do is you will find this is the student's name. So let's say I'm registering that student. That's my son. So I'm just going to put him in for a second. Let's say he's a vocal solo. He is a group 1. Now group 1 is the most advanced. Group 5 is the least advanced. A couple notes about groups. Group 1 can be anybody. Group 2 can be anybody. Group 3 is about my floor for freshmen. Every once in a while, I'll put someone in group 4, but group 3 is like the floor. My default is to start freshman group 3, see how they do. If they need another year group 3, they can do that sophomore year, and then after that, they just go up and up. Group 5, especially, that's like novice students. But who want some experience and just want some feedback, because that's what this event is about. It's about the feedback and about um, getting some trained, specialized ears on a student, whether they're playing piano or they're singing, and what advice can that teacher give to them, and then how can we as music educators help them start applying some of that stuff. So there's a whole list. There's a manual full of songs if you are group 1. So this student, Merrick Karam, who I will delete in a second, but he is group 1. I have to put a number in this, a 3-digit number in this box. The other groups 5, 4, 3, and 2, I do not have. There is no list for those groups. There's a recommended list, but not a required list. Group 1, you have to pick off the required list. Okay. Let's say I don't know it. It says above, just put in 500, and that's going to be the number you're going to put. Okay. And then I just add event. it's really, I mean, pretty straightforward as far as all of that is concerned. So it's right now, what I like to do is I put in all of my 500s at first, and then I'll kind of go through the list and say, okay, this is not 500 anymore. It is 123. Boom, and I can edit it right from this spot. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this student. Cost went up, by the way, for ISMA. It used to be 15 a solo and 7 per person for an ensemble. Of course, remember, no duets allowed in the state of Indiana. It's an interesting rule to me, but that is their rule. So no duets at ISMA. Ensembles they max out at 20. So you can see there I have chamber choir SATB. That is my advanced mixed chamber choir. I have 22 in the group, so 2 are going to have to stay home, but I think a couple have conflicts. Anyway, that's not important. So I've got my list already started, and I've got my 500s in, and all I have to do is go to edit, and it pops back up, and it just regenerates that information at the top, and then I can go 1, 2, 3, and then click add again. So that is essentially the bulk of it. And just as you get forms in, start adding them back in, or I add them as I get them. So but you could also obviously just keep them in a folder and then add them all at once. So hard deadline though is like, I don't remember the time. It might be 11:59 p.m. on Wednesday, but it's a pretty hard deadline. If you miss that deadline, ISMA is not usually very accommodating on letting you add, and we don't want to do that to them anyway. They're really they're great people, and we want to make sure that we're on our stuff so that they can be on theirs. So the next thing we would do is proofread. You double check everything against your forms and all that, and then complete registration. Once you complete registration, that is it. You cannot go back and change anything without paying something. And even if you send it in 2 weeks early, I would recommend waiting till closer to the deadline and making sure everything is through. I've heard a horror story of somebody who did the wrong group orders. Like they thought group 5 was the most advanced and group 1 was the most novice, and so every single event had to get changed, and every one of them is a $30 charge. So I mean, hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Or if a group like you need to change a group, or you need to change number of students in an event, I think, like in an ensemble, I think the one thing I don't think you can change ever is a name. So, but again, make sure you're just kind of on your stuff and take some time and go through it thoroughly. So that is what I've got. Really important stuff here. We really want to encourage our students to attend Solon Ensemble Festival. This is something that, we don't give a lot of solo opportunities for students in a choral setting or ensemble settings. So this is a really cool way to like, hey, I'm going to give you something. You get to work on it outside of class, and then you're going to go get some feedback, and then you're going to get better, and those improvements are then going to permeate throughout the whole ensemble. So these things do really make our groups better. So that is what I got. I'm gonna let you go. Hope you have a great day.